drive to the Kingdom Hall. So I'm going to try and put my phone underneath myself or in my jacket. So like a point of view kind of camera. What it's going on. What it looks like. On the way to the Kingdom Hall, she would always turn to me in the back seat and she would remind me every single time, 3 days a week, I want you to sit still during the meeting. And I mean it. I want you to sit as still as a statue. I don't even want to see you breathe. And when I tell you to answer, I expect you to answer. But when I tell you to raise your hand, you raise it. And I took her literally. Like when I thought she said she didn't even want to see me breathe, that I had to hold my breath and breathe real shallow. Like seriously. And one of the reasons why she would say that is because the chairs, we had these cheap, like tall back kitchen chairs for chairs at the Kingdom Hall. It was this little rinky dink hall, cheap, poorly constructed out of reused materials. Like they took material from another building and used it to construct the Kingdom Hall. So it was just this, sadly built hall built back in the 60s, just out of scrap materials. And so it smelled, it was musty, it had leaks all over the place, and we had these creaky chairs. They were brown, like fake leather, and they were the most uncomfortable, but they were like screwed together, so when you would move they would creak. All of them creaked. And like the seat, because it was this fake leather, when you would sit, so if you'd sit, it would make that noise, like that, almost like a fart noise, where the air would release out of the seat. And so they were noisy. Everyone made noise with the chairs. But when I made noise with the chairs, my mom would just get furious. She hated the way the chairs creaked. But she could creak it. Everyone else could creak the chairs, except for me. And so it was terrorizing. And she would pinch me. When it was time for me to answer, she would pinch the back upper part of my arm. And so it would surprise me and it would hurt. I'd be like, ouch! Like, ouch! Like, how am I supposed to answer when you do that? Or she'd pinch me on the leg. Like, why do you have to make it that answering is painful to me? Like, every single time I feel pain, I have to raise my hand. And finally, I said that to my mom. Like, I was trying to reason with her as a little kid to an adult of why that was upsetting me. Because then I'd be like, like it would surprise me, and then people would be looking at me because it would embarrass me. And then if I didn't answer, then I'd be drugged to the back and I'd be pleading, no, Mama, please don't, please don't. Like, she didn't understand why I didn't want to answer. I was shy. She was bringing undue attention to me. Attention I didn't need. Oh, that, I remember seeing that all the time. And it was so awful. Like, it was so awful. I would dread it. This whole drive to the Kingdom Hall, I would dread it. Like, I'm gonna get spanked with the wooden spoon again tonight. I wonder how many times. I wonder what kind of a fight it's gonna be. And how many times am I gonna get pinched? Are people gonna look at me? And, just the judgmental baloney that would happen even to a child. Who cares what a child does? Who cares if a child answers? I mean, how is that, like, necessary? No other kids have to go to church and learn the doctrine up and down, back and forth, you know, backwards and forwards, inside and out, when even the parents don't know it. But we're supposed to, and we're supposed to believe it, even when it doesn't make any sense. I used to say that all the time. It's like, I would gladly be a Jehovah's Witness and answer if it made sense. Like, I would not have taken that class as like a college course or a school course at all. Like, this is a terrible, like, if that was a school I had to pay for, I wouldn't have done it. It's like, this is a school that sucks. Like, I'm not learning anything, and a lot of the times the information that they're giving, it's not even true anymore after just a short period of time. So what's the point of learning any of it if it's constantly changing? Tell me when you get it right, and then I'll spend time getting to know it and memorizing it, because that's literally what I said. What do you mean it's constantly changing? My dad would say. I'm like, there's always a clarification and a change. Just as soon as I think I've got it straight, because literally I had severe OCD, and I wanted to know the doctrine because I wanted it to be easier so that I could answer easier. And so I pored over that literature as a small kid. Starting back as far as I could remember, I was like, I went to the bound volumes as far back as my parents had them, which was like the 40s and 50s. And I started to read them all. And it got worse and it got worse. It's like the farther back I go, the worse it is. Like, I can't remember all of this, all the changes throughout the years and all the different corrections. And that's why my dad said, you know, well, that's why it's best to just stick with the new stuff. And it's like, because the old stuff is so confusing and wrong. Well, then now it's down to 30. It goes from 60 to 35 to 65 to 30 in just instantly. Crazy. So it's a beautiful area. It's a creepy little town. Not speeding and big stuff. This is where on the corner, right here, is where that crazy guy who killed that lady. I don't know if I told you this, but this is where that guy would stand here in Big Stump. He would stand out here on the main street, and that's how he got witnessed to. I'll tell you that story at some point. Here we go into the town where the Kingdom Hall is. This is the bridge where my uncle would grope me out in service.
In 1 mile, turn right onto
go
2nd
over this
Street
bridge.
Southeast.
He would grope me over the bridge. Now we're in Minnesota. We just left South Dakota. Now we're in Minnesota. So I lived in South Dakota, and then the Kingdom Hall was in Minnesota. So that you can understand that aspect of it. We were never in a South Dakota Kingdom Hall, but we lived in South Dakota.
At the stop sign, turn right onto 2nd Street Southeast.
The gas station that my dad had to stop at.
In half a mile, turn left.
Yeah. up on this hill. Yep, see, we're going up this hill. I don't know if you can tell that we are. Right there. Oh my God, there it is. There it is. Oh my gosh, I'm really freaking out. I'm really freaking out right now. How do I get up there? Oh my God, I think I make a left.
Turn left onto US 75. Then turn left.
Oh my gosh, I am so having a panic attack right now. This is where the Smurf walked down the alley. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys. Okay.
Turn left onto Oak Avenue. Then turn left.
Oh my goodness. Oh, goodness sake. Oh, goodness
Turn left.
sake.
Then turn right.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Turn right onto Ortonville Street.
Oh. This is a new Kingdom Hall. But it's on the same. It's on the same property. It's in the same spot. See, we're on a hill.
Proceed to the route.
Okay, I'm gonna get out.